Types of constructors. Constructors are classified into three types. One is default constructor. It is also called as zero argument constructor. Second one is parameterized constructor. Third one is copy constructor. So today we will discuss regards to default constructors. Default constructor is a special member functions which is invoked by the C++ compiler without any argument for initializing the object of a class. So this we call as a definition of default constructors. So the features of default constructors are: one is default constructor function initializes the data member with no arguments. So here in default constructors there are no arguments. And next, second one is it can be written explicitly in the public section of the class. Explicitly we can be written in a public section. The next, third one is in case default constructor is not designed in a program, the C++ compiler automatically generates it in a program. So default constructor C++ compiler automatically generates in a program. So the next, fourth one is the purpose of the default constructor is to construct a default object of the class type. So now the general format of default constructor is as follows: the syntax and example. The syntax is class name. Here also class name I have written in example number as a class name. And next, opening flower base public access specifiers I have written. The next, class name I have written here. The class name example I have taken number I have written. Opening flower base, whatever you want to write it here. Here I have written n is equals to 0 in example of program. End of the line is semicolon. Next, closing the flower bases of this default constructors. This is closing of the number default constructors. This closes a class here with semicolon. This closes example number class name with flower bracket with semicolon. So with examples I have written a program to show default constructor. So write a C++ program to display n natural number using a class default constructor. Using default constructors, n natural numbers we have to display. So first header files I'll write it, that is iostream.h and kunio.h, and the class name I have taken as number, opening flower base, and private as access specifiers. In that, data members I have taken as integer of type n, public number. This is the default constructor with no arguments. This we call as a default constructors. In this we have assigned n is equals to 0. Next, void read data. I have taken a method. Here in this method I have written cout, enter the input limit. You have to assign a limit here n. Next, void display. For statement I have taken. This is looping statement. For I equal to 1, I is less than or is equals to n, that is input limit, I plus. This is increment operator. This is for statement, looping statement. Here cout natural numbers I. So until I is less than or is equals to n, condition false, this loop will be exits. So after this exit, this method will be exits. This closes. Here the class name number here and with semicolon. Return void main was a main program execution. Here the sum is a sum in case number here. So we have to write here number s1. That is little bit confusion here. Instead of sum we have to write a number here, right? that is number s1. Created an object. After creation of this object, this default constructor will be executed. Next, s1 dot read. This enter the input limit. It is n value. We have to put it n is equals to 10 here. Next, display s1 display. This for statement execution I is equals to 1, I is less than or is equals to 10, because n limit we have inputted as 10. So like so, natural numbers here 1 2 3 up to 10 it will display. This will closes the example of default constructor program.